Hello, I am here doing a little life update. I know that I tend to ramble in my videos, so I've made some short notes, um, and hopefully we can get through this pretty quickly. But yes, I'm still in Canada. I came here to help my sister. She just had her second baby, and she asked me if I could come help take care of her and her two kids, and I said yes. So I was supposed to be here for 6 weeks. I'm 5.5 weeks in. The baby came much later than we thought, so I offered to stay an extra week, and she took me up on it. So instead of leaving in 4 days, I'm leaving in 12 days. Which, to be fair, I was when I offered, I obviously was okay with staying, even though I was very much ready to go home. But I am happy to have a little more time with my family. So yeah, the last 5 weeks have been hard. Normally, I'm in charge of my life, and I have a lot of alone time. I have a lot of time to do the things that I want to do. And basically, for the last 5.5 weeks, almost every single minute of my day has kind of been dictated by the emotions of a small child or children. And I don't have any children of my own. I've never had to look after children this long before, and it is so much harder than I thought it was. I knew it was hard, but it's much harder than you realize. And I have had some very dark days where I just want to pack my suitcase and run out of here. But I've had more lovely days where I'm just feeding my new niece. I'm feeding the baby and she's falling asleep in my arms. Or the other day, the 2-year-old told me that I was her person, which was very sweet. So yeah, I there's good and bad, obviously, but more good than bad. And yeah, I did have anxiety for the first 4 weeks that I was here, just this consistent pit in my lower stomach, well, like butterflies in my stomach. And then my legs also felt kind of like jelly, but also like I needed to run. Basically, I was in fight or flight. For the first 4 weeks I was here. It has calmed down. It kind of came back a little bit today when they changed my flight, but it's fine. I will be home soon, and yeah, I wanted to go through some of the lessons that I've learned while I'm here. I have decided that because I was kind of on the fence, and I am 39, so I am kind of running out of time, I guess, but I don't think that I want kids. I love my nieces, and it's been so fun being here, but I can't imagine giving up every single second of my time for the foreseeable future. I like my life too much. I like my freedom too much, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay being the cool aunt, the cool fun aunt. So, and I'm also very okay with just reparenting myself, because my inner child deserves that. And so that's the other thing that I learned from taking care of these kids is how to better care for and protect my own inner child. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it properly, but basically just watching children play and have these big emotions and work through stuff that they don't understand is making me be a lot softer on my own self. And it feels really good to learn that lesson. I want to prioritize more time with my family. I went through a phase where living abroad, it's hard to come home, it's expensive to come home, and there's so much to do abroad that I was very much, I mean, I didn't come home for like a long time at one point. And I would like to change that, and I would like to prioritize coming home, I mean, hopefully like a few times a year, because my parents are getting older and I don't want to miss my nieces growing up. I want to be part of their life. So this is now a core value for me, and I need to figure out how I can, I don't know, make more money or something to make this work. The other thing that I learned is that I have a lot of time on my hands in my regular life. This made me realize how much time I actually have, because I feel like it's something that I complain about a lot, is that like I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. Oh my God, I have so much time. I feel like parents will understand. If you're not a parent, then whatever, but like, holy shit, kids take up so much time. I mean, honestly, I was like lucky to get like an hour to myself. I'm going to bed at midnight. I'm getting up at 5 a.m., sometimes 4:30, and all that in between is taken up by something. Maybe I get an hour to myself. Maybe I can go to the gym for an hour. Maybe I can go to the dance class. Maybe I can take a nap. Like, but I can't do all three. Like I'm lucky if I get a half an hour most days. So yeah, I'm excited to go home with this new sense of freedom and abundance. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was, while I was here, I did finish The Artist Way. I finished it last week. I wasn't going to, but I'm so thankful that I kept through it during this instead of like pausing it and coming back when I went home, because it saved me while I was here. I was so confused before I started it with not just my creativity, but my life in general. Basically, I was sitting in a dark room trying to figure out how to get out. And this book helped me turn the light on and realize that there's more than one way out. Actually, maybe it's more like I thought I was locked in a room, and actually I'm like in a hallway or a field and I can go in any direction. And I thought there were walls up, but they're not actually there. I haven't done a lot of actual creativity art stuff. Like, I haven't done any photography or anything in the last 5.5 weeks since I've been here. The chapter that I read like right before coming here was about filling the form and just doing like small little things every day towards some sort of bigger goal. And that really saved me, because even though I wasn't doing like super creative things, it still felt like I was moving in a forward direction, as opposed to just like completely pausing my life. And I think it would have been, this 5.5 weeks would have been so much more difficult if I had not continued with the book. So I'm so grateful. So I bought this on one of the artist dates that I went on when I was here. I was meeting some other family members for lunch, and I popped into this, I just like went a little bit early and went for a walk around this market. And I popped into this jewelry store, and they had this, which is like very Sailor Moony. It's so cute. It's something that like my inner child just like loved as soon as I saw it. And I didn't get it at first. I went to brunch or lunch or whatever, and when we were leaving, we were heading in that direction, and a couple of the family members had to stop in to get a coffee somewhere, and I was like, ooh, you know what, I'm gonna pop in there, I'm gonna buy this. And my mom came with me, and my older sister came with me. And my older sister was very like, oh, it's lovely, get it, da 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 da, it's very Sailor Moon. And my mom was like, that really? But what, like, what's with this? What's with, like, why do you want this? And she was so negative about it, and she just kept being like, oh, like, I have jewelry you can have, like, why are you buying this? You don't need this. It felt so good to be like, no, Mom, I'm buying it because I like it. I had a really hard day, like probably like the hardest day that I had here, but put it on and it just made me feel like I'm on my own side. I have my own back, and that's enough. I realized while I was here, kind of like the perfect way to continue forward with it for now, allows me to have more free time, distance myself from it while still basically like keeping up with it. Because I kind of like, I made that job like my creative outlet, and now I've separated that. That is no longer my creative outlet. That has nothing to do with my creativity. That is just how I make money for now. And this little mind shift has made continuing with it so much more bearable. So hopefully I won't have to do it for long, but it will be okay to do it for now. And yeah, so I think that's all I wanted to say. Oh, I did have like a little tiff with my husband, because I noticed that he was spending like a lot of money, and I messaged him about it, and he was like, oh yeah, I spent like, just, I'm not gonna say the number, but he spent a lot of money. And I thought that he like maybe had some saved in like a different account, and he was basically like, no, I spent all that too. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm here working like every single day. I was hoping to come home and like chill for a bit. Like I had a little buffer of money so that I didn't have to like come home and like I could decompress after this experience. So I was very upset with him. I also was like, something in my brain just went to the worst place, being like, oh my God, he has a secret drug problem, or he lost the money gambling, or I don't know, like, I don't know where my mind was going, but like all these things that are like trying to explain how he could have spent that much money, because I still don't really understand, and he hasn't really fully given me an answer, just that he went out a few times and like overdid it, which is possible. But he has apologized profusely and realized that he like fucked up. And I was really proud of myself for one, bringing up the subject at all, because I feel like a past version of myself would have been like, oh well, like I guess whatever, he just had fun, and maybe not even mentioned like, oh, did you spend all that money? Like, would have just been like, oh, like, I don't know. Like, there's definitely a past version of myself that would have seen that red flag and ignored it. And so I'm really proud of myself for one, bringing it up, two, like, vocalizing my frustration to him and speaking up for myself, because this isn't something that I used to do, and it feels really good to be on my own side. And yeah, and it felt really good for him. This is why I love my husband, for him to, one, not get defensive, apologize, realize he fucked up, like take accountability. And he's basically like told me that he wants to stop drinking because this is where he makes bad decisions. And yeah, so that was, I don't know, I just feel, even though this time has been really hard, I feel like it was really important for me to go through, because I've learned so much. Yeah, I guess the next update, I will probably be back in Barcelona, and yeah. Okay, bye.